Hi, I'm Dan, and welcome to Polar Currency in video number 29. This is the first of a four-part video series where I had the honor of interviewing Ben the Coin Geek. Interview really wasn't the right word. It's more like it was a conversation. Before we get to that interview, I have to provide a How I Met Ben sidebar. I first met Ben when my wife and I went to the Long Beach Expo back in June. First off, my wife had to encourage me to go talk to him. I was being a big wimp because he was with someone and I didn't want to be that guy. Well, as usual, my wife was correct and I was able to meet Ben. It was also extremely nice to meet his daughter who was at the show with her dad. I mean, how many of your kids want to go to a coin show with you, let alone work a coin show? That told me a lot about Ben right there. But I digress. We told Ben that we were in Southern California celebrating our wedding anniversary. Yes, my wife is that kind of a person. I fully realized that it was pure charity on her part. We had about a 10-minute conversation, me blabbing on and on and on about nothing, but we did take a picture. But then Ben asked me for a business card. I didn't even think twice. I mean, Ben the Coin Geek asked me for my business card, so I gave him one. About a week after we got home, my wife and I got a card in the mail from Ben wishing us a happy anniversary. I mean, who does that? I was able to connect with Ben to sincerely thank him, and we spoke on the phone a few times. On one of the calls, I asked if he would consider coming on to Polar Currency. I was totally floored and unprepared when he said yes. I know he puts his pants on one leg at a time. Well, I don't know that for a fact that he does, but you get my point. But seriously, it's Ben the Coin Geek. I can admit to a small man crush even if he is a coin guy. Okay, too much information. Moving on. If you've seen mine and or Ben's YouTube channels, you probably noticed that we just might really like to talk. So this short interview turned into 90 minutes. So I broke up the conversation. This video is one of four with Ben the Coin Geek. Videos 2, 3, and 4 will go up each day after that. End of sidebar, and I hope you enjoy. Hello, welcome to Polar Currency. I am excited today because this is really unusual. I have Ben the Coin Geek of Old Pueblo Coin with me, and it's really weird because normally I'm just staring at the screen, looking at Ben, throwing things occasionally at the screen. I get to interact with him. And it seriously is my pleasure. Ben, welcome to Polar Currency, and sincerely thank you for coming on.
Well, thanks for having me. It's funny because I was thinking how strange it is because I do coins. And I thought, well, listen, what's this currency guy gonna do? But I do currency as well. And you've seen my currency videos, so you know I enjoy currency.
All right. So I'm gonna start there because I'm a bit retentive sometimes. I go back and look at stats. So just in the last year, Ben, you've uploaded 230 videos,
okay,
of which 60 have been currency, which I think
right?
is a great ratio. I think it's more representative of what the coin, the numismatic, which I love that term, but at least we're not philatelists.
Right.
Is that representative of what I'm kind of interested in your coin dealer. I'm interested in Old Pueblo Coin. Is that representative of your sales? Sorry.
No, it's not. I think if you look at percentages, not really. But to me, because I believe in doing the education thing as I do stuff. It's really easy to educate on currency because it's visually compelling, and coin collectors don't know jack squat about it. And so I can always show it and talk about it, and people, it just really enlightens them. And so and there's such a broad variety of stuff you can get into. My goodness. And so it's fun that way to be able to show off currency and talk about it.
It was super weird. Your most popular video, 94,000 views.
Oh,
unwrapping the Morgan and Peace dollar roll, and that was 40. Okay, this is what's weird. That was 44% higher than your second best viewed video.
Is it cracking the hammer?
No. This is the one where you had the rolls of.
No. I was asking what the second one is.
Oh, I don't know. I actually didn't look, but probably.
Okay. Yeah. Well, like I said, the content that I don't necessarily like is the content that sometimes gets the most looks, but also you can tell it's not about the views. If you saw my reaction to what you said, like I,
Well, because
I
they're all, I mean, those look genuinely why I watched it. Can I just
yeah,
say that to you? Because I think they were real rolls rolled up whenever
uh,
1915, 1930, whenever they looked to
uh,
me. And the fact that you didn't call out going, yeah, I think these are fakes, which, I know you load up eBay and put all sorts of rolls and say original rolls unsearched,
yeah,
um,
always.
and scam people. I mean, sorry, sell products to people. But you didn't give that vibe off while you were unwrapping them. And
It for me on that group, like you talked about being jaded and doing stuff, and I was like, there's things that I believe or don't believe about certain things, but I really try to play it straight. Like I try to not be cynical
mhm.
and still have judgment.
All right. So moving on, I want to talk about some fun things. So yeah, back in the COVID, you had a beard. What happened to it?
For a little while,
I know.
I
I
was
just want
just
to know what
being
happened to the beard.
I was just being lazy.
All right.
I shaved for you today too. It'd been about 3 weeks and you could see two whiskers. I was like, it's
Yeah,
time to get rid of
I
that.
actually shaved this morning too. But yeah, I was noticed that you were clean shaven and July 18th, and by November 22nd, yeah, I do this. 2021. You said
You
that's
are a historian, sir.
I do like to do research on that. Um,
Yeah, no, I had grown it out. It was like my COVID beard. But for those of you who are fortunate enough not to go that far back in time and see those videos,
well,
um,
I'll have a picture, by the way.
yeah, oh, thanks. So go ahead. So yeah, it's all superimposed. It's fake beard.
Right.
Um, it only grows in right here, anyways.
That's all
So
right.
like you can hardly see this at
I
all.
think you could
So
do a Fu Manchu. I think you really could.
yeah, the Fu Manchu's the way
Yeah.
to go. You
Yeah.
just cover up this part.
Yeah.
I look pretty. I look like a biker. I look pretty tough.
You started your channel in 2018, and that the same year. If I'm trying to remember reading your website bio, is when you took over, bought the coin shop.
So pretty close. I mean, we took over in 2017.
Okay.
I uploaded a few videos in 2018, not a whole lot. We had tried some videos, just a handful of videos, before I had taken over. Um, but it wasn't until COVID hit that we all had a little extra time on our hands. And as we were trying to figure stuff out, I was just uploading videos. And I had a lot of guys give feedback and just say, hey, look, thanks. We appreciate this. We can use this. We're bored out of our minds. Which, so I it's good that I was competing with boredom. So there was that.
Well, and that by the way, when I tripped across this, yes, COVID was the times that I've used YouTube. Hey, I want to replace a tail light, whatever. But I really tripped across it as a streaming channel for myself, whether it be history, whether it be other programs. And I'm like, wow, there's this coin content. You were actually one of the first ones that I tripped across, which was funny because you always talk about your algorithm, or Al
Right, the
Gore.
algorithm.
And it must have been doing something for me.
Yeah. Well, it probably, do you know if you found me through currency or coin?
It had to have been through currency because that's what I was searching
Yeah.
first. I mean, those were my search
Yeah.
terms.
Yeah, well, and then I think there's even less competition in the currency realm on YouTube, you know. So that's not too far of an outside chance. But the hard part with the algorithm is that if you search for anything coins, they'll show you, 15 to 20 stacking channels.
I want to come. Can I come back to that?
Yo,
That
100%.
that,
Yeah, we
that
can hit that
is
up later. Yeah, yeah.
yes, because I don't want to confuse that with your channel, because one of the things that I tripped across was, if I'm looking at, the variety of videos you do, Ben, the interviews, the crackouts, coins, ancients to moderns, you've got 19 different playlist categories on your channel. Do you have a favorite type as far as, I'll never forget seeing the hammer crack out, which I was highly disturbed with, yet could not look away. So,
That's I think how the show should be described in general. I so huh I like anything. Well, I like interviews. I like doing interviews. Just because I always feel like I learn when I talk to people. So that's always good. And yet they're not as popular as, the popular ones are crackouts, which are probably like my least favorite to do. Uh, I mean, I it's something I was doing anyways, so I'm just filming it, traditionally. But man, people just go goo goo for that stuff. And so, but I like interviews. I love showing off ancients, just because people have never seen them and they get exposed to stuff and they're like, oh yeah. And then they find out that they can afford them, which is great. And what else? I mean, I like anything that's kind of historical. I like whimsical, educational. I like it when I can confer a grading concept to somebody through video, which is difficult to do sometimes. But when I can help people learn how to grade, it's just not an easy thing to do in person or on video. So, but when I run into someone at a show and they're like, "Hey, you really helped me learn how to do X, Y, or Z," I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. That's the money."
All right. And you've got 4 shorts.
I don't even know if they're all properly listed. I think sometimes I know one video, I think it's from like 2018 or something, that was not intended to be a short, and I think they modified it to a short because that was when I wasn't really sure how to upload stuff because technology. Because technology is fantastic. It's just
Right.
me. Can we admit this? So,
Well,
but I like the short format for certain things. But the thing is, what I realize or recognize is that that's where a lot of people go. So I love long format. I love interviews, and dialogue and discussion. But the short format is something that there's an entire generation that's what they view. And I still have a want to really break into short format and educate and dispel myths, things like that. I actually want to be on TikTok, even though I don't want to be on TikTok. And I got banned from TikTok after loading up one video. So there's that. And then, but I would like to do a little bit more of that stuff because I find it, I find it pretty interesting to be able to reach a different marketplace. And that's the thing about all the social media platforms, right? So Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, like my collect now, they're all different neighborhoods that you can hang out in and still create content and give information. And so, and I don't have the time to be everywhere at once, and YouTube has really just been the sweet spot for us. But yeah, I would like to do more on platforms like TikTok to try to reach a different generation. Instagram is really, really heavy with teens and kids in their 20s, and that but most of these places they get taken over by stackers and coin roll hunters, which if you enjoy that stuff, fine. I'm one of the least judging when it comes to actually what you want to collect, but also if you want to get content that's useful towards coin collecting or paper money, it's pretty hard to find that on TikTok.
you brought up your interviews, you brought up the formatting and things like that. And now the social media. So Ian Russell, great, great interviews, by the way. Both of them were
Thank you.
great. I don't care how long they were. But so with, he's already had great collections for a while, right? That's been going on for a while. And I like it from the alternative. I've only made 2 purchases from there. Well, because they've got the currency ratio isn't that great, but that's okay.
He's
That's
a
okay.
currency guy.
I know. I found that out, but you know what? He's a business person, just like you are. You know,
Yeah,
your brick and mortar's got to sell what it sells. Your website's got to sell what it sells, and I do respect that. I'm bitter about it, but I respect it. Um,
bit of respect. I'll take it.
bitter respect. That should be, yeah. Yours is like education, whatever.
Yeah.
Mine's
Boulder
bitter
currency, bit of respect.
respect. It's
Boulder
bitter.
currency, bit of respect.
It's
Boulder
bitter.
currency, bit of respect.
But where do you see my collect? I jumped on my collect. I kind of felt, I jumped on it, went there.
Yeah.
What's your thought on
So
how that really can take off and influence collecting?
it's interesting because it's really designed, I think, for people who are already social media people. So the interface is I literally haven't been on Facebook in years because I detest Facebook. Um, they tell you to build a tribe and you build a tribe and then they block the tribe from seeing your content unless you paid Facebook. It's
Mhm.
like the mafia. And I was like, I'm not playing this game. So, but my collect is the opposite of that. And that was Ian Russell's whole thing. Like, you're going to see stuff and we're going to let it go. So pardon me, I'm going to point out the elephant in the room, which is the fly, which he's
Wait,
taking up all the
I
screen
thought there
time
were
and
no
lose.
insects in Arizona.
So
I thought it was
no, we have biodiversity here, sir. Biodiversity. So the nice thing to me for my collect is that I know that if I put any content on there, it's in front of numismatic and
Three more consonants, one more vowel.
scriptophily.
Probably. Yeah, script. Yeah, I
It's
can't say it either.
it, it's in front of collectors' eyeballs, right? So if everything I put on YouTube gets diluted with other things, plus the algorithm, my collect has no algorithm.
Hmm.
So if I post something, it just goes there, and if people follow me, they see it, right? And which is very different than YouTube. On YouTube, if I post something, so we post videos every day, and a lot of our collectors don't know that. So because what they'll do is they'll just see one video a week or something, because that's all the algorithm will push towards them. I got to find a fly swatter in here
You
pretty
know what?
soon.
You do what you need to do. I can edit all you want. Let's just.
No, no, no. It's fine. Hey, there's nothing better than a fly to make for real drama. Is he going to get the fly? Is he not going to get the fly?
I, I,
What
I,
about
I it's.
so for my collect, I don't know exactly where it's going to go or how it's going to go. It may turn into a very strong just coin community. I don't know how well it's going to compete against. Will people who are on Facebook leave Facebook to just be on my collect? I don't know. That's yet to be determined. But in concept, I like the idea of having a place where I don't have to look through everyone's vacation photos to see the stuff I want to see.
Well, that's it for video number 29, the first video of the four-part series with Ben the Coin Geek. Ben, sincere thanks for your time and coming on to Polar Currency. I really do appreciate it. If you like what you see, please hit the thumbs up button, feel free to leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for checking in.